President John Dramani Mahama ebusia se okote term anase onkote term we yankoma asori ewo Ghana hapa as to say President John Dramani Mahama His Excellency se okote term anase onkote term no we yankoma aba ewo my Ghana mu yene yatena si ye ba bedi honkomo ye besua de ye bet ko eya homane so ne lawyer ni akasa lawyer ni bi be kasa kire ye wo be kire ye mrana se ye ba betie eye Prophet Roger wono so nkom hye bi a waka de ato ho afa eye John Dramani Mahama eye ne tetema de ho eye strategy bi na wo mode yesa anasa eye constitution na ne hia se e wo se ye chirechire mu na ma remfi se o chirechire ni bi e de eye asem ne kokot se wo de akodan court se court on chirechire eye constitution mu nchire ye se is John Dramani Mahama eligible to go on a third term anasa oni ho kwan se otimi kotetem teacher ni bi na de call kwabna what they call you can say Supreme Court because Supreme Court is the only court responsible for interpreting the law of Ghana and as obechire emra ni mu editi asem no court Supreme Court nyanka ho asem nwie so ye bedi akire ni atie de said the ensem no ebesifa aye now. The question a lot of people are asking is say e die na be mena ba yira John Dramani Mahama tirim say also kotetem nkomo we yatena si yebedi ni ye yebebie mu ye na yakwa homa ne so akwakodi nkomo ahodo eso ede aba aha eye Oscar Media Plus meeting ede little Oscar oba o subscribe eye channel no wo like video no wa share enso ede amaye na ma remfi sedane da nyina no most importantly oba comment on the video enso ede amame. Of course, the journey still remains the same, clear and undefeated. No amount of intimidation, no amount of jandam, and a bit to me, money, yet to me, I stop it. Now, Kwabna, yensuya de wahane, and ye besuya de. Before ansakra na yebe komono, ma mim kai a man for say, Ghana yemra no baby is stating it clearly say, President betumia ko only on 2 terms, Article 66. Now you be reading Article 66 in nyina wa hane. Ye be kwa homa no so ye ne lawyer ni be kasa ye be tie di obeka. Prophet Roger so aba be kasa ye be tie. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na mu so kasa about the third term no. Ye be kwa kotie ni nyina nti na the show is packed. You are not missing anything. Ye be mu hu say the nyoma ni nyina esi etie. Now we heard the Article 66 of the Ghana Constitution now, or say term of office of president. Now Article 66 1 say that or say a person elected as president shall, subject to clause 3 of the article of this article, hold office of a term of 4 years beginning from the date on which he is sworn in as president. Now Article 66 2 also say a person shall not be elected to hold office as president of Ghana for more than 2 terms. A person shall not be elected to hold office as president of Ghana for more than 2 terms. Now, 3 also say the office of president shall become vacant A, on the expiration of the period specified in clause 1 of this article, or if the incumbent dies or resigns from office or cease to hold office under Article 69 of this constitution. Now, 4 also say, which is the last clause, what article? 66, Also, the president may, by writing signed by him and addressed to the Speaker of Parliament, resign from his office as a president. Now, the Article 66 2 assembly say a person shall not be elected to hold office as president of Ghana for more than 2 terms. More than 2 terms. Now, ye be din komoni ye. Ye ni kan tie His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama asema wode etudwa efa ne third term ho ensem ho.
The people of Ghana gave me a mandate for 1 term. And I am working hard to meet the promises I made them. And so I always tell my ministers, I say, let's number our days so that we can work harder to meet the promises we made the Ghanaian people. I know that people have gone to the Supreme Court seeking interpretation of the clause that governs the tenure of the president. If you ask my personal opinion, I thought that it was clear enough. Me, I've read it over several times. It's exactly what it says. But if they want to ask the Supreme Court, that is their business. But I know that the people of Ghana gave me one additional term, and I'm going to work to meet the trust that they put in me. Thank you very much.
Now, it's I know your President John Dramani Mahama and your tin in Kasane Busia Odin Komono. Now, or can some be almost say, we're reading article 66 2 no. We're reading it several times. Now, it is clear enough. Yenti ni bi me say ahanom no ye ba ye besua de na ensema nipa ne ka no we go beyond what the person is saying near my man for na tiase ye kwabna. Now per what the president is saying, so we're reading it several times, means that our interest wo mso onye obekọ tetem tie ni bi Sir John Dramani Mahama eka say article 66(2) no we're reading it several times e kire say our interest say onye obekọ tetem yentie nkomo ne ye tie. Or say we read it several times, and then we read it, Adechia will read it, or Koda will read it, or Soria will read it. What it means is that the president is interested in going on another term. So that means this narrative now, kosono, ye betu miyaka say, His Excellency, John Dramani Mahama, onim hubi, or kan hubi, or sheni pebiachi, say woman pushi that agenda no. And I say, your pepane say as a president, no person or timbrana si ye, intina dani den yina will read no. Say na interest any city for him to be reading that particular way no over and over and over again. What does it mean? What does it mean? Now, and only your President John Dramani Mahama and I na no disem no. Na yebeko ni akwa kudim komo foforo. Ye ne lawyer ni be kasa. Ye be tie lawyer ni bia no asem about this particular issue a ashasi a eboboba ene ye ho no nyina said ye lawyer ni no o kirekire ye mu. Kwabena on say issues be say ne ba eboro ye so. Ye nya lawyer fo. Ye timi nkirekire constitution mu. Ye read ya ye nkirase ye wo nyina ye the common understanding that everybody have about the constitution and na ye nyina ye wo ye de brofo na be kira ase ba law no ya na say ni ade atoda ye no ntina ho be hia say ye be di nkomo na ye tie de lawyer ni ye nkomo ni ye di ye no na yakwa homa no so ni yakwa akotie say ye tie ase sa de aha etie ni kan tie Prophet Roger asema Prophet Roger eba abonten ebe kan ye about His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on going for a third term. And I say Uncle Tetem, you Prophet Roger.
Yes, President Mahama. Person or quarter term. Na penyufobi a person or quarter term.
Okay.
And a bit soon see that. A bet me a banner, some no Supreme Court say, okay, and what will be?
Me betna kunya ya metishu ya. Many wa unya ba sechiwa. And I'm a share come say 2026. And komubi be unity the month of June. Na me say san komoni unity ebekwa be ba me ba be rural parliament house. Am be ba be affect your election 26 ebe unity.
Election there no only made the home komo.
Yes.
The one where 2028 election no. Emaso say ye pese ye to.
Me no di akire nkomo. We ye akire nkomo na Sadiku abetiti yo.
Nti ebeba.
Sadiku ni ba bia me gina sesi ai no. Unya be ma isi ahwe amaye no maya ahwe esan say enipa mpe no kre ba nipa pe de obeka be favor.
Okay,
so I am not a politician. I don't know much about the law. But the American say omo parliament house is here ye nyina na yeto abama omo ko emre bi e de bebre wo mo hwa emmoa wo man no mo ntumu de mo hwa bebo wo man no omo nyintum omo gituma ye nyina bekwa kodi lies so akoto aba. So I don't want to comment on eno
anema ye esi nyame ahehya to ho dada ana meboa
say
you bet must stop na my no stop
ade omni ye say za nkomo na omo de o say omo de ko henfa
omo de ko Supreme Court
eti the Supreme Court ne be ka no eno ne be ba be ye adwuma na a question am
so mo ka say obetimi agina bi mu a
as Supreme Court ni gitumu dia so obetimi agina bi wa
bia na ono abeko ana obeka so
eti waka say won kwai
oka so won kwa emra ne da ho but onko ba ebi so che say nyame ayi dada
Supreme Court dia ne dia
ombeja to Supreme Court no be atum.
Sadiq Peseva dia say
Angel FM.
Supreme Court no omo be ya omo hwehwe mu de omo be ka bia yebeti.
Okay. So for mesa de waba ha. I was asem na ho because ye be di achi but I was politics na sa na mafi ho kakra no. Say ye de asem court no ye ka. Ye den ya betwa to ha na betwa.
Ato ha sa.
Nti be de na Nyankopɔn ana sunsum mu no. Odifo bi say obi a wakoye boni e de ne court no metime twitwa age no e wo ho sa.
Ade bia esi ne bia nye ne na esi.
Okay.
Enye ne na esi. Somebody 1 year na bo nsuo hu da wuro me ni show so ye show no wo ase ho na me ba e kra me sa kan say nsuo 2026 di nsuo na eba
be ba obi a o te gata ho bia tu
into unze me hun before time 2028 men kra me nsuo 2028 the next election e wo Ghana animu no September October ye wo ye animu ye na rems ni bebie.
Okay.
Rems ni bia 2 months pe na ebie ebie na wantimi a maintain wo seat ana wantimi a ntwe obi akonwa mfiri to antena so a opa ye campaign ye den enye yi ba say next election no e wa chiri o next e wa chiri ni animu ya ba bia o the next election no
e wa chiri asem no na ne wo mpese obeka because Supreme Court so beka asem ye wie September enti then na odi akosi September say ho na be hu dia ba e beto no 2028 no Supreme Court be cancel be September o
Sadiq
enti so obi twa obi akonwa na watwen
erade ni ambuafo de obeka bia no obi kura beka say me kai say mbeka asem ne say President Mahama me $3 million.
Hey
want it's on social media say President Mahama $3 million. Say I'm coming to Alimany na di ye. Ko mi ni bi kura kakra me nyane ye pon asori e che no bi anya bi kofi.
$3 million dey say.
Say me meka sam fama no.
Oh, emuedu.
Obi bi sam so de ba me amaji ana. Alinji papa we always speak what is ahead of us. I don't know I am not saying that because of Supreme Court there na wo kan. But the American say bi obi MP. Na o pese o maintaining the seat ebi obi pese o yi seat bi free ho na oba betena ho no mo September October rams ni bebie onhunu spiritualist bi oginity.
Okay.
Askoko ya ye di ya ni hini eno ne di maintaining ne ma ne di yi ne ma free ho na se enipa bi timi dane ne ma yi pa ebe we the by election by force ebe bi ba eno ntino mo a mo ye MPs na mo pese mo maintain mo seat mo wo aban mu na mo pese mo maintain mo akonya wa pese wo ji obi akonya free ni nsem mama o free apo September October pe obi a wo ji ni dia wa ben anya obi akeke na wo maintain wo akonya mo na so onyi obi akonya emfama
nti na ya na MP4 no koto aba omudi omo resources no ani brebebre ko asofo ho ya omo nim de ho
anya asofo nko asofo de ne ya ni de na nim de bi mo ye me Sadiq unim say me metie A4 sheet ya ye de twere su ye before ba bi e beto aba obi amaye adwuma ma ne bi anim ye di kan ya abato no wodem tena se twitwa pipes ni atwere refuse aguba akoso ni atwere win aguba akoso etino
na mo bompaye
enya mpaye Sadiq empire ye bo wa so dem ye fa ni ye 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 di empire o eti udinya ba na ye refuse awboa
obeye den
opa chiska sede wa branche bu okuma ase ame mboni din na woni obi kwa akopre MP akonya nipa ne kwa akopre wo sika na nipa na tena so na woko na wo pia ne bo so wo pia ne busuani bi ahye ho na me nipa yi opani ne che 5,000 cedis na me nipa ne che 1,000 Ghana cedis na me din be share me fie be ka kire ne yiri se monye meni na Sadiq ye hye dem ne yeto aba ne wie ne na me nipa na wen ne margin ye kakraka papa ne friend bi say who is your spiritual father osimi ni bi eti papa de bi esi wo sunsumu honam bi edi kan esi chama ya sema esi ne esi dada
na ebesi
ni pia obepie se da ho a esi dada se na ho a esi dada yeti 2028 ni nachi election ya we yanim de obewe ne esi dada dia obelusu esi dada
ye de timu kwa na ye decide battle na
esi dada
nyame nim de ebesi nya
esi dada
okay
mimi nya akwanya ne I don't want to talk about politics but mecha honorable Kennedy Japan before mo prime minister no me nya kwanya kochia no
Okay.
and me ne di nko na me soluma we see that say na see
You know him.
me na see that was bare 1 year cry later eti no say enye nipa bi a de obeka bi ba bontia ba attack wa me sadik metimi atena say akan sem a be si wo man nanim the next bear 6 7 8 to 10 years at the date any time atoto ho emfeli to mfa ho we be si da we be si da we sounds wana ebesi anontino ye hwede rade be
Yes, ye ni no na ye say ye ne.
anontino rade di aba no
Okay.
e ba ye say wote konso anim na me nsometia wote me kwatena ho afidie no bebubu wadwuma ye wadwuma madwuma ye madwuma de me ye no nyagidie e wo me mu de wo ye me giwudi pa obi an say e ba adwuma we ya ye wadwuma e ba me nsomedie a e ye medie nti woni ani ba rade ama wani ani ni nye wo ani ni ye de wo gine die
Okay.
ti rade ama ye mu bi ni adane ani ama nkrofo bi no anonti saa na etie na onim say di Ghana be ye Ghana Ghana be ye
Okay.
Right, etie no Prophet Roger yete ne nkasa na odi nkomo no. Na Prophet Roger eka asem bi say o say John Dramani Mahama ne third term election na wo beko no. O say ebe affect election no. As to say kwabna His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ebeko third term. Anase onko third term no ebe affect election no. That is what Prophet Roger eka. O say ebe affect election no. Tieni bi o say ebe affect election no. Now o say kan bibi wo mu bi mu say o say Supreme Court no na sade ke busa ne say Supreme Court ho nsensem ne ade a no say ne beye ebeye ya na say yebe ka say obetumi akwa na wontumi nko penny posture ni dimi na the answer question ne kire me say Supreme Court no betima age atum say President Mahama is eligible to go on a third term. Per Roger ensema yetie yi na no di sema yetie yi ene mehwe ni dimi na ne posture wo de Sadiq Adams anim eyi question na no say Supreme Court nsem no sunsum no sign ne beye mimenti asiemu no mesumi honhom mu ene memudie kire me say and her Supreme Court no be catch Mahama so betimi akotete na and her due to that inti Sadia Supreme Court be catch obetimi akotete no due to that particular judgment na say ruling na interpretation inti ebema one her 2028 election no Ghana my Ghana ha yen toaba and her 2028 election my Ghana ha yen toaba and sha na yan toaba nemom yesre His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. This is the time for Honorable Kennedy Akompreko Japan. This is the time that we need somebody with different ideology from MPP and NDC to come and lead the country. Any idea be a woman shall say wo mo be yese kwabena eno na wo mo de be yese ni idea there be what be DB what da Roma yesrew wo de pe baby tina na constitution ngusu nya adwuma. Yesre Supreme Court for nso so wo de wo mo interpretative mra na said ye tie ma bibia influence wo mo they should interpret it as it is because ye kenkan mra na de mimenti asiemu any the way amete mra na sefa no kwabena menyi ni se President Mahama ebetimi akọ on a third term because I say a person shall not be elected to hold office as president of Ghana for more than 2 terms. Sabin Prediasa Mahama be di 1 term say ne wabedi 1 term ne wabetwa ne 4 years na we said clause 1 ne kan ye no na so kodi 30 years of you cross I betwa another 4 years e 2 terms na wadi what I say run it consecutively what I say run it differently or whatever e 2 terms so I don't know how ye person ye be force narrative will be in a sense that a bit ma be change mrano well Supreme Court is the only court to bit ma interpret mrano it ye de sa respect na ma Supreme Court se omomrano me omo chirechire mu mienti ase ne mum yes President John Dramani Mahama so man na ye tim na ya asumdwe man Ghana na ya asumdwe man ye mpe wotimi waka me bia na na china wi ye mpe se emra we hunti interpretation be kwa kofa asemaba momienye ne se de da ye no na utie lawyer ni na ye ba betie ni nkomo na wo kire se de ntie wo mo share sa amra ne to ho ne se na ye mpese ye be ma wo bia ba betena akunya ne so sa na wa ye abusive overpower na tumi na di ni trim na afi power drunk na ase tumi no ohun de odi tumi ne ye because nipa ono na obi otena akunya bia so che bia no at some point obey corrupt, obey too powerful. And because of sudden anon person preventing inti, and a woman car say, and yes, idea, if free and ne kono. Obi betima be man penyina, obetima run it just on 2 terms. Enti yesremo. Mamo mane me say ni adia mane ko fa sem bia ba yesremo. Now abusia yentie eye lawyer ni na ono so yene ne atwetwe nkomo no. Lawyer ni bibi ntie ntimi mfa ne di ntudwa. Enti na me eye anakwabna da bia no. Me boni di am lawyer ni but this is a respectable person. Yentie ne nsema ono ode tu ye ni mo. Ne nkomo a wodi kire ye. Aha na mmara no enkyerɛkyerɛ mu wotimi srama busua yentie ni ye na yenyina yentemra na sie yentie de lawyer ni no nkoma woni ye yentie ni ye.
Good morning, Senior. Maturity for no now. So this is a quick response to our earlier discussion on whether President John Dramani Mahama can run for a third term after the expiration of his current term in 2028. I think that this has been one of the political topics very in recent times. Mahama Nankasanso, has stated that he is not even interested in running for a third term. But the discussion on this particular issue now, the confusion has been whether the 2 terms in our actual constitution, whether the 2 terms should run consecutively, or we say back to back. Think out of first 4 years in a year, no what was not a second one, name Wakwati Wami. Think out in political history now from 92 now, this is Sam Reno. In Jaja Oba from 92 to 96. You re-elected the man twice from 96 to 2000. The Binya John Ajekum Kufo on also back from 2000 to 2004, from 2004 to 2008. And the Binya Nanadwa on also back from 2016 to 2020, then from 2020 to 2024. Tusha Omuba Sata Nina Sam Nipam Yensen, and now Mampenyin Yensen. Yeah, in your sad discussion, I mean, we didn't have any, discussion on these. Almost 10 because it was clear they all did the consecutive 2 terms back to back. But John Dramani Mahama no back 2012 to 2016 now call na home bejima was ababi. And on how many people my Malian say because on amemu no anane the president of Abedin end to say JJ ne kofo ne nanado mo de o call no to aso sa. Then the argument arises that any consecutive. So in any case, the consecutive may even start from 2025 and then to 2028. From 2028 to 2032. So that has been the central point of this whole argument. In the Ghanaians now, at the According Supreme Court and the Supreme Court and churches are saying his argument is that on a proper interpretation of Article 662, and Article 662 provides that a person shall not be elected to hold office as president of Ghana for more than 2 terms. I think I've already stated that. So another argument is that you are only prevented from running for a third term when you have actually served the 2 terms consecutively. Into what first one, what was second one, 8 years, 2 terms, where we but where your tenure will be 4 years back and that provision Article 662 does not apply to you. So where you have served 2 separate or distinct terms of office he thinks that you can still run for a third term because he feels like Mahama second time here from 2024 to 2028 and that is when the consecutive terms would run. So I don't know if you said 2024 to 2028, then from 2028 to 2032, and the consecutive terms now the provision of the constitution really meant. In the Akoban is saying there was a Supreme Court as to what exactly Article 662 means. But the issue here, as I've realized, is that in Article 661, it provides that a person elected as president, subject to Clause 3 of this article, shall hold office for a term of 4 years, beginning from the date on which he is sworn in as president. So here is where the confusion is. From the date on which he is sworn in as president, does it mean that 7th January, remember, my Chief Justice no swears in the president now? Does that mean that that time now 2 consecutive terms shall say and I say, and yes, our time? Until from the date on which he is sworn in as president, is that a time the 2 terms run such that a consecutively or not? But in the interpretation of the Constitution, we have so many ways they interpret the Constitution, and one of such is the purposive approach. So, Constitution provision there is a reason why we have that provision in the Constitution. In order to achieve the purpose for which that provision in the Constitution was, stated, there was a Supreme Court and judges no more interpret here. They should interpret it to mirror or mirror or actualize the intendment or intentions of the drafters of the Constitution at that time, because there is a history behind the 1992 Constitution and why we have it in its current form. Looking at Ghana's history, friends, before the 1992 Constitution, we have had several regimes. I mean, they became president for a very long time. J.J. Moore, Nkrumah between 6 years from 1960 to 66, I two and the other. So, what the provisions of the 1992 Constitution, particularly Article 66 now. Opescoche say Kabe President Kanka 8 years Nankako. Send ye be na you president, more than 20 years, the friend is saying military regimes no more be deals watches because a manipano abusing the power. I mean, the president, he is not even accountable to the people because he has been there for a very long time and all that. So these are the things the Supreme Court may take into consideration. What's the provision of the Constitution 1992, Article 62 in particular now? There is a reason why they stated the 2 terms. So it cannot be that we can give it any other, interpretation a better contrary to what they intended when the draft of the Constitution, stated that provision.
Right. Eti lawyer yadase. Eti eno kwamna we on the camera omuna etimra na seni adia ene yekotie no. Meaning at this point, I leave it to you to say ubetimi usube kan wadwene e kire me. Say ujidi say possible say John Dramani Mahama may go on a 3rd term. Per the Constitution now, you read Article 66(2). No, ujiri say possible, and I say possible. Now, ye jadi ama manfo no kwabna, wo mo meka de wo mo so adwen kire wo mo nkire ye. Na ye nto aso emfem free ho. Ye bedi nkoma ahodo asa ewura sa stop topic we mu ye. Ye benya adaji ye bedi nkoma asa ewura mu ye. Na emo ma de srede ne de ma His Excellency John Dramani Mahama si yesre no. De ebeye ma confusion besi kurum ha de yempe. Edu honorable Canada compre ko Japan edu ne so. Mama ni medi bi ni ehwede ono so beye. Aha, Oscar Media Plus Media de Little Oscar Oba. O subscribe, o like it, no wa comment e de amaye. Most importantly, no chere wadwen will be bia ye ho. What I say opposite to what we are doing here or whatever. Chere wadwen chere ye. Na together no yem build on my Ghana. Enti aha ene de dwumade ni nyina besi Media de Little Oscar da mu nyina massive for the support. Amode am I continue to stay with us and ye besa no matna sibiem ye da mu nyina amase.